Hello everyone and welcome to another video from the Pro Traders Lounge. My name is Younes and I will be giving you an update on the ELLIOTT wave count, and I will be going over a few trades that we have been having within the Pro Traders Lounge. Let's start off here with the chart that we have in front of us. Of course, last YouTube video we were around right here and we were looking for that push up and then eventually making our way all the way back down towards 25k. I do have a small snippet of that. Let's watch that first. So then you would expect still a higher move up, something like that. And then eventually just turning it around again for that last wave C or a... So that played out pretty well, I would say. We had a few target boxes, of course. We came into our first box and then we rejected very nicely here. And then eventually made our way back all the way down here towards 25k. So that played out so perfectly. In terms of swing trading, that is really nice. We are mainly swing trading, so also that's the way we traded it as well. We were right here and then we gave our members into the Sunday swingers session. We always give them the highest probability trades. Let's go over those into here for a second. So we're looking for a retest of 24,500-ish and then taking our way all the way up to 28,160, the target that I gave on YouTube as well, which then played out perfectly. Had those retests, easy invalidation for this one, and then taking our way back into this target box. Rejected of the first target box and then gave us that short because we had two potential short setups, but this was the main one because of the nice reaction that we had there. The next setup, we make our way down there. Have a new plan here for looking for a nice A, B, C to the downsides. This B didn't look finished yet. I was like, okay, this could still test our 27,500 target box here for another retest before eventually having that big impulse to the downside. And that is also played out very nicely. Had a retest, nice swing failure here towards the downside, and then had the opportunity of an impulse here playing out. That is also what I shared, looking for that 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to the downside, which we then waited for this to play out before looking for those new long setups. And then we had that playing out also very nicely. 1, 2, 3, 4, waited for that wave 4 and 5 to play out, and then looking for that swing failure of wave 5 here, to then targeting again 27,200, which was just a perfect trade because I had a big short squeeze here all the way up towards that target of 27,200. We had that confluence box there of the daily naked point of control and then the golden pocket there, which we perfectly traded there. I closed my trade at 27,200 and then obviously we know what happened after that. We just rejected and came all the way back down. So that played out perfectly. So now that we came all the way down towards 25k, do I say like, okay, is this the bottom for Bitcoin? Do I now expect us to just go to the moon? I'm just gonna remain with my two scenarios that I have, a bullish and a bearish one, and then see which one plays out. Which one becomes more likely once we start to break our key levels, and we'll just trade it accordingly. So the first, let's go over over the bullish scenario that we have been tracking. Let's go over the daily here. So nothing changed here, not much. Only the structure has changed of the corrective phase. So we're still looking for that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a wave A, and then looking for a wave B corrective phase before eventually making another push to the upside, which we are still in that wave B clearly. Nothing's changed yet in terms of like, okay, now I'm fully bullish. You could say this maybe is the low, but we need to see some strength out of this downwards trend line before we can say, okay, this was just a WXY and we are going all the way to 40k. It is not there yet, I would say. We have some invalidations to be hit, and maybe if we start to hit those invalidations, then we can say, okay, the bottom was in here, and we can now say, yeah, 40k seems likely. But where it is right now, I do still see the potential of us just making a bigger corrective phase, something like this, WXYXZ, coming back towards this area again. It would surprise a lot of people, and then eventually make our way all the way back up. Why do I like this? First of all, just a basic thing that I like to look at is the volume here. As you can see, we have a nice downward trend in volume, which it looks nice, but I would like to see this continue a little bit lower here. Something similar has played out here when you see a lot of low volume here. and then everybody misses those big moves, and not a lot of people are trading here, and then they miss the big move. I would like this to happen also here. See that downtrend in volume here, and then eventually make our way back up. That's why I like this scenario of WXYXZ. So I wouldn't say I'm fully bullish yet, but yeah, there is a potential, of course, that we do see the big push out of this. But yeah, the local structure looks something like this for this scenario. We are having all of these 3 waves. Now the next thing that we're looking for is another 3 waves. So this is clearly an impulse. We're now looking for some kind of a wave B, and then another impulse to the upside for a zigzag. So then we have something like this, A, B, C. Before then eventually, yeah, making our way back down. Something like this, another 3 wave to the downside for wave Z. So that is pretty much it for this. The key thing for this scenario is going to be, and let's remove this for a second so it's a little bit more clear. The key area is going to be this level here. Once we break above that key level, we need to see that continuation if you are going to be very bullish. If we start to do something like this, we're going to have some kind of a corrective phase here, and then we break above this area here. Once we come back below this area here, then I would say, okay, it really becomes more likely that we're going to see at least making our way back towards Z in this area here again. 25k, it's going to be the remaining support that needs to hold. But if we do start to see that continuation here, we see a big push in volume and a big breakout here, then I would become a lot less likely that wave X is going to play out and wave Z. So that's going to be the validation for that scenario as well. So that's not really what I want to see for this scenario. I would like to see us going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another impulse here, and then reject here again above wave A. Do we get back below that key area, then it really becomes more likely we're going to see at least wave Z, or then maybe we have the bearish scenario playing out that we'll be covering right now. So that is going to be the key area. You need to put that on the charts, in my opinion, so you are prepared for that. So let's remove this for 1 second. The bearish scenario here. The bearish scenario for me personally, it really does have potential here. Why do I like this scenario as well? Because I have a nice fractal playing out that I've shared in the group, and it really does seem likely that it could still play out. So as you remember, we were looking for this scenario playing out here when we were, a long time ago, but we were here looking for that kind of an expanding flat, ABC, with a clear impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here at the end. So that could be the end of the wave C and then the expanding flat. And then coming off that, we didn't really have a big impulse. We're looking for something like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but that never happened. But we were eventually still looking for this A, B, C to the downside. Now I have changed my local count here a little bit for this still to make sense, for an A, B, C to the downside. And that would put us somewhere around here now. That we have now locally made a 3-wave A, 3-wave A, B, C for a running flat. And then this impulse at the impulse here at the end is going to be the end of that, and the running flat here, before then making a big wave C to the downside. So we're still looking for a 3, 3, and then a 5. So it's going to be a big impulse here. So it's going to be the break of 25k that's going to happen if this scenario plays out. So that's why I still like the scenario. And then the running flat, really nobody really is expecting this running flat here to be playing out. So that would be really nice, unexpected. Nobody would see this, in my opinion. But it has played out before in Bitcoin. Like I said, I have a fractal, and it looks somewhat similar. So that's why you need to be prepared for this scenario as well. If we start to lose 25k, that's going to be very key. And you see the strength there, then this is likely an ABC. And then maybe we're going to make another B, and then a big impulse to the downside. Maybe taking the lows of wave, the expanding flat from wave B here, before then making our way back up. That would confuse a lot of people, I guess, but that's why I like this scenario. So that's the bearish scenario here. Oops, didn't mean to delete that. So locally going into that count here a little bit, let's see, for this last wave C here, we could say like, okay, maybe why don't you say wave C has ended here already, because you have a clear impulse here. It is, for me personally, because of the size of this last impulse here. Going over this, you have a big A, B, C, and then some kind of a B here. And this C is rather small. So why would I like to see it go a little bit higher here? I would like to see some kind of an ending diagonal kind of pattern here playing out. That would be nice. It also chop out a lot of people. You would see something like this playing out. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Something like that. For that wave C. It is still a nice wave, like motive wave here to be playing out. Going into the 1 hourly here for 1 second. Let's take this into here. Something like that. And then we have something like this. So when impulse 1, we're gonna have a nice corrective phase here. It looks like an ABC playing out here, some kind of a move. We can put wave 2 here. And then maybe, I mean, the first thing you want to notice is, when does this become more likely? Is only when we have done this. We have done this and we came back below the end of wave 1 here. Then this is gonna be a lot more likely to be playing out. And now we have the potential of something like this playing out. Another 3-wave structure is what you want to look for. And then I would highly recommend looking for a short on the next attempt of taking the high here. That is something that I would be looking for. So, ending diagonal type of move, it would really chop out of a lot of people. They get really bullish here at the highs, bearish here at the lows, and then eventually making, I mean, nobody knows what is going on. And then rejecting there, and maybe we're gonna see that big push to the downside for that bearish scenario. So that is something that I'm looking at for this scenario. Give me some kind of an ending diagonal, and then it would increase the likelihood, in my opinion, of that bearish scenario for that way A, B, C, and then a big push to the downside. And then the size of this becomes a little bit more relevant to the other sizes of the structure, the corrective structure. So that's why I like that to be playing out. So next up, let's go a little bit more locally, see what I'm looking at locally here. 1 second. So let's go, obviously we have the local count of that bearish scenario that I just showed you, but we can also have that the more bullish scenario where we have maybe this as a wave 1, or maybe this just to be a wave A, B, and then C for this X to be playing out. So there's going to be 2 scenarios here. I mean, obviously 3, maybe that ending diagonal, but I'm going to remain on this one. 1, 2, and then maybe we're going to see that big push to the upside. You have to be prepared for that. Something like this. So, clear impulse. Looking for some kind of a corrective structure here. Maybe this is just an A, and then we're gonna see a B, and then a C, something like that. Before then making our impulse to the upside here, and then maybe reject here again. So this is gonna be the key level. Let's mark that out on the local count as well. Key. So this is what I would like to see for that, yeah, that WXYX, and then another Z to the downside. And then we have some kind of a local count here, A, B, C. All of these ABCs. I hope you guys are not too confused yet. So something like that. Let's go over this here. We have some liquidity resting here. We know the market loves to take some liquidity. Liquidity. So do we then see another sets of 3 going up? So this already makes sense. We have that clear. To do this. So A, B, C. Then maybe this is just a wave A, another 3 to the upside, and then a big impulse to the downside before pushing up higher. That would be ideal. Getting all the liquidity above below A again, and then pushing higher. Or the other thing is, you could say, is maybe this is not really going to be a big corrective phase, and maybe this is just A, B, C, taking that liquidity, and then this B ends here. So we're gonna see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse here, taking the liquidity here below that, and then seeing that big push to the upside already. That would be very fast. Usually we have those longer corrective phases, but it is also a possibility. So then this becomes an A, B, C. And then obviously we're gonna see what happens here, break above that 26,800. Do we see that big continuation or not? We have a few scenarios now that we're looking at. We have that ending diagonal like I just showed you. We have this scenario for an ABC, and then a big, maybe just we get another rejection here. And then maybe it's gonna be the wave Z that we're gonna play out, or maybe the bigger corrective phase. Yeah, to be seen. We'll see. I hope this was pretty clear. Let's go on the 15-minute here. There's not much showing here, but why do I like this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downsides. Clear invalidation here for this ABC, A, B, and then we're looking for an impulse to the downside. So this is going to be the invalidation for the local counts. This is going to be 15 minutes. It's a bit local, but I know sometimes people like to see those local counts here. So that would be something like this here. Let's see, yeah, that does seem likely. It doesn't really look finished yet. We also have a big bearish CVD playing out here on the structure here. A lot of people are longing into this. It wouldn't really make sense for us to do this and just to reward them. Squeeze them out. Get everybody bearish here again. Take some liquidity before another push to the upside. That's what I would be aiming for. So yeah, that looks pretty nice. So, of course, if you're interested in learning more about Elliott waves and having those setups that we have shown you here, you can always check us out at protraderslounge.com. We have all the live sessions here on the website. We also have those strategy lessons. If you want to learn more, obviously you have the pro tactics, pro basics. You can learn everything, the basics, so all the higher end Elliott wave stuff and like that. Yeah, that's pretty much it that I want to mention. If you like this video, you want to see more of these videos, please leave a like on this video, thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And let me know in the comment section, where do you see Bitcoin going in the next few weeks? Let me know. Are we gonna go to 50K, 100K? Let me know. Have a good one, guys. Bye bye.